The Philly Joe and Kirby Podcast.
This is the Philly Joe and Kirby Podcast.
Lincoln Park kicking off the Monday show. That's a good start. 92.1 City, Winnipeg's rock station. Kirby, someday, man, I'm telling you, you got to know your way around that defib. You got to know your way around your first aid. Because Joe and I mean, it's breaking news. We're holding on to youth pretty good for a couple of guys on the wrong side of 50, but it's inevitable because we're not going anywhere. This show, hopefully we got another 10 years in us with this program. So that would mean at some point, I think you might have to conduct first aid on one of us.
Well, I told you guys I'm prepared.
Are you, though, Joe? Are you confident that she's prepared?
No, not at all.
Once you were having something was going on over there. She didn't move at all. She started laughing.
That was one incident. The next incident, if you recall, was only a few months ago. We couldn't figure out the stroke acronym. With,
FAST.
FAST.
I saw a commercial for it recently, actually.
The back of a bus. I was driving behind, and it brought back that memory. This was just on the weekend. I said, I still don't remember all these symptoms. That, and then there was the defibrillator that's down the hall here, and Kirby laughed because she didn't know how to activate that. But here's the best part. Kirby right now is the only one of the three of us that has a compartment for her pills on what day of the week to take them. Like, I don't know what's happened in the last 6 months, but it's become a very topsy-turvy world in here.
We're going to have to learn our first aid, too. Is that what you're trying to say? We got to keep an eye on curbs over here.
Well, I think I'm okay, but I know this is going to surprise you guys. I'm actually really good in an emergency situation.
Okay.
Yeah, you were married to a paramedic.
Yeah.
I would expect a little bit more if something went down.
Well, I've just had my friends tell me that, like, when it comes to, like, a serious incident, like, I'm the go-to, like I can keep my cool, basically.
You're like Tom Brady. You're good when the game's on the line.
Yeah, you're a champion.
And honestly, Joe, there's been times you've choked, and I've been the first one to be like, you okay, bro?
Well, you okay isn't actually saving his life. I mean,
You
it's
okay,
nice.
That's
bro.
the first thing to assess. Are you okay? If they can't say they're okay, then you got to do the Heimlich.
When was the last time you took St. John's ambulance? You haven't, Phil.
No,
You can't comment.
I
If the first thing it says in the pamphlet, right, are you okay, bro? It's the first thing to assess. I'd like somebody right now that has. I haven't taken St. John's in about 30 years.
Is
Really.
that number one?
Is that number one now? Are you okay, bro? I just remember that they changed mouth to mouth resuscitation.
Yes, there's no mouth to mouth.
Since that's how long ago it was I took it. Like you kissed the dummy right on the lips back then, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Like for the or breathed in that way and pumped on the chest. I know they've changed that, but are you okay, bro? I'm not going to argue that until I hear it from a professional. But I'm just assuming that's not how you assess.
So we could use on our Boston Pizza text line this morning someone to confirm Kirby's "you okay, bro?" And then number two, we could use we have a lot of official things with PJK, but we don't have an official paramedic or an official nurse or doctor.
No, we don't.
We could use one of those to help.
And I like to meet this group of friends that have said that you are the go-to person in the case of emergency. And the only reason I'll say that is, and you know I love you to death, but you're the first person out of the three of us that would panic at any given situation when something comes up. That is not the go-to person. Those are two different things.
My friends tell me I'm the go-to.
You know what? We'll just test the theory when that time comes.
Are you okay, bro?
Yes.
Let's check on that.
Someone let us know if that, in fact, is the first thing you learn when you take first aid.
Philly Joe Kirby.
Philly Joe and Kirby
Podcast.
The Philly Joe and Kirby Podcast.
Ever feel like no one's listening? We've got your back. Call the Bone phone, 780-BONE. Brought to you by Auto Gallery of Winnipeg.
Yeah, just calling in about the who the hell is that contest. Listen, people, if you can't rattle off 3 random celebrity names off the top of your head, or you don't know what the contest is you're calling in for, then don't bother calling in!
I'll say this. Look, I'm going to defend those who get stumped. Those are the first few callers, and it happened last time we did Who the Hell Is That? It's nerve-wracking. People haven't heard the voices very often yet because it's only been a couple of times we played them. In some cases, it's the first time they're hearing them. Mm-hmm. So it's a lot of pressure, and you always see the momentum. Like, for example, 2 of the names have been guessed now because people are hearing the clips over and over.
$1,800 in about 9-10 minutes time is up for grabs. And if you nail that second voice and for some reason didn't hear who 1 and 3 were, you'll still win $1,000.
Awesome. Okay. Dennis the Menace wants to talk about a couple of different things, the Bombers and traffic.
Congratulations, Bombers, on an awesome victory Friday night. 8 wins in a row. Kicking ass in the CFL.
Yep.
Second part of my call is for the stupid lady driving the caravan down St. Anne's Road northbound Sunday afternoon, going about 40 through a crosswalk where people are stopped and the yellow lights are flashing. You win an award for stupid, dumb person. That's all I got. Dennis the Menace, out.
Okay, that's
the SDP award.
It's quite an award.
Yeah, I've never heard of the award before, but I certainly don't want to be on the receiving end.
No one would want the stupid dumb award.
With the bone phone, trust me. If you're a trophy shop, you put out the SDP, you're going to be in business for a long time. There's a lot of people
Flying
that
off
could
the
get that
shelves.
award. Yes.
Maybe that's a new award on the Bone Phone. Feel free to award it anytime you want.
You'll see it at, you won't see it at hockey banquets. It's usually most improved, right? To MVP.
There's no stupid dumb player of the year.
No.
Unless he takes a lot of penalties. Maybe then. Okay, composting has been in the news frequently in the last couple of months, Kirby, fair to say?
Yeah, I had a story, I think, last week about a program that's coming to the city until we get our full program in 2030.
So this guy, I don't know if this is, if you guys recognize the farmer. He's called before.
I'll have to hear, yeah.
Here we go.
Hey, it's the afternoon farmer. I just want to say I listen to your show every morning, and I love the three of you guys. And I'd like to weigh in on the whole compost situation that is going on in the city. I've been farming wild hogs for almost 30 years now, and for at least 20 years, me and my family, we've had what we call the pig bucket. And it sits underneath the sink, and we just throw all of our leftover scraps, whether it's from breakfast, dinner, and whatnot. And when the bucket gets half full, then we just take it out to the pigs. Not a big deal. Have a good day. Bye.
Not going to lie, I'm pretty excited. I'm headed home to my brother's place for Thanksgiving this weekend, and they do something similar for their chickens. And I told you guys about it. Like, I love the fact that you can just, like, reuse your scraps, and the chickens will eat it. And in this case, pigs.
The pig bucket. They do their own composting.
Yeah.
Pigs will eat anything. You see that in movies, right?
Oh,
Like they talk
the
about
show
that.
Deadwood.
Yeah,
Remember that?
Oh,
they had
absolutely.
hogs. Oof.
Wow.
They were feeding hogs everything, all right.
Okay. Guilty. It's a Monday thing. Well, I mean, we get guilty throughout the week as well, but I guarantee we hear from him on Monday mornings.
Boom! Okay, Philly, I know you got the earphones on and you got your laptop open, but, okay, Sandy Hook Golf Course yesterday. I took the team out golfing for such a amazing summer. They were just rock stars, these guys, and I don't throw that around often. But it's a little windy. She was a wee bit windy out there, Philly. And what I suggest is we get the out to Granite Hills before it closes. Have you ever been to Granite Hills?
Beautiful.
Is my question. Kirby's in.
Kirby's in.
Joe's in. Joe had a great lunch at your place there on Friday afternoon.
Thank you very much at Frankie's. Yeah.
Wicked. Let's go shopping!
The Kirby's in part.
When did I say
I'm
that?
happy for you, Kirbs.
Well, thanks, Phil.
That's
but
good.
here's the thing, Guilt.
Guilt, did he? Does he
It's
want
either Gil or guilty. The's no guilt.
Can you confirm that she can
Okay.
go? Well, you are golfing with him right away here, so I guess you could call him guilt.
Guilt.
This week looks
listen,
pretty
buddy.
good.
Listen, buddy.
I hang up the cleats or whatever the hell you wear for golf in the summertime.
He's hung up the cleats.
This is the woman who has told us she took 7 years of
Well,
golf
you know,
lessons.
the golf shoes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry, guilt. The cleats are hung up already.
Here's the best part. You can shut your laptop down right now, keep your headphones on, pal, and mark this in your calendar. Sometime this week, Kirby is golfing with guilt.
Guilt.
Yeah, me and Guilt.
Have fun.
Yeah.
I'm so happy you're in.
The Philly Joe and Kirby podcast.
Let me tell you what, if you're one of those people who loves Krispy Kreme donuts and would love to pick some up for the office, but You don't get out there very often. You don't get out to the Seasons of Tuxedo. Is that, do I have that area right?
Yeah, that's very good, Phil. Yeah.
Because of the convenience and everything else. Thursday, and you like supporting great causes. Thursday is a big day for you with 92.1 City.
The race is on for the City 500, where we're selling Krispy Kreme donuts by the dozen, because really that's the only way to get them.
Yeah.
By the dozen, $15 a dozen. So that's below retail cost. So we're saving you money, and it's all for Siloam Mission, and we're actually doing it in Transcona.
Yeah, in Philly's neck of the woods. Basically, you can stop by the parking lot of Canad Inns, Transcona, that's on Regent Avenue. And we're going to be set up there at 6 a.m. until we're sold out on Thursday. And like Joe said, it's all for a great cause. We're giving all proceeds to Siloam Mission.
All of it, all $15.
Yeah.
There's no, hidden costs here.
That's right. And that's where I buy my beer. Right by, like, that parking lot has been home to the Oak. It's been home to, like, it's had a few different, now it's a tavern there.
Oh, there's a lot of different things that have happened.
The memories.
In that parking lot, in that hotel.
I've had one of my birthday parties there.
See, that's what I was talking about.
Boy, we were all talking
one of the
about that.
pinnacle moments.
Yeah. No, I didn't invite you guys that year.
No,
because,
we didn't know you that year.
Yeah,
We did not.
I don't think you.
No, we didn't.
we weren't a show then. Yeah.
No.
Still kind of choked that, we
Sorry,
were
I
still
didn't reach
radio
out.
people in the same
So
town.
reach out.
Listen, the birthday party we got invited to, the first one was we were part of the group of 45 booked with a table of 12. So the first hour and a half talking to your parents was great, but I had Phil on my shoulders.
I forgot how many chairs there were needed.
It was a fire hazard. It was a fire hazard in that private room. But whatever, it was for a great cause, your birthday, so
And so is this.
Put
But
up with it.
This is about the donuts. If we could just go back to that. The sidebar of your
Yes.
birthday was fabulous. But it's wonderful.
Thursday morning, Anton and Angus from our street team will be set up in that parking lot. That is the day to get donuts for a great cause, Krispy Kreme.
And we're giving you the heads up, too, because if you're looking at the office or the workplace, maybe you pick up a couple, because the sooner we can move the 500, the sooner Siloam gets their money.
This is the Philly Joe and Kirby podcast.
Hey, PJK, what's going on?
Nothing much. What's up?
Okay, so the first thing you learn in first aid is, do you need help? So yeah, basically Kirby's right. Are you okay, bro?
Okay.
Yeah.
So do you need help? Oh, but she just put it in her own words. But yes, that is okay, Kirby. We're back.
Way to go,
You're
Kirby.
getting some backup here.
Yeah, I just took the first aid a couple months ago. The first thing you learn if somebody's in duress, you look at them and say, do you need help?
Okay.
That sounds more serious than "Are you okay, bro?" You know, like "Are you okay, bro?" sounds like somebody that just lit up some sambuca with a coffee bean and burnt their lip. That's when you go, "Are you okay, bro?"
Not when he's having a stroke.
Not when he's having a stroke.
Yeah, she's downplaying the seriousness of the situation.
Yes, but that might be a good thing.
Yeah,
Right?
depending on what's going on.
Yeah, 100%.
I don't want to cause any more drama in the situation
Oh, yeah.
than there needs
You would be
to
drama
be.
free. Yes, if one of us was in health crisis.
Absolutely.
Philly Joe Kirby.
Philly Joe and Kirby.
Podcast.
The Philly Joe and Kirby podcast.
And you're done with me today?
That's it. Done.
Did you hear that, Kirby? He's done with me today.
Done.
It's only Monday. You're done with me
Yell.
already.
I
Yelling
kind of
at me.
understand.
You
Yelling at me.
understand? Why? What does that mean?
Well, I just understand where the guy's coming from. He's done. He's done with your BS.
Done with
It's
it.
my BS today. I thought I was in a decent mood for a Monday.
You know, usually I'm not done by a Monday. Usually it's about a Tuesday for me, Joe. So you're alone on this one.
I'll tell you, Aubrey. I'm not the same guy after my Steelers lost at 11:59 p.m. last night.
Yeah, well, it doesn't make it any better when my Niners lost at 6. The game was over at about 5:30, 6 o'clock.
I'll tell you what, Kirby and I have been spending the whole morning breaking down how this NFL season has cost everybody a lot of money in their picks.
Well,
she
not
hasn't
really
stopped.
me, though, because so far so good with the Chiefs.
Yeah, you got the advantage of taking the Chiefs every week, and they don't lose.
Yeah,
So and they're usually heavy favorites. So that I'm not taking away from your picks.
No.
But taking the Chiefs is the safest bet in the NFL. They're
Right
two-time
now.
defending champions.
Well-
They've got you and the referees on their side most Sundays.
Oh,
and
yes,
Mondays.
they do.
Of course, you got to make a comment about the refs.
The refs are all over the Chiefs. They love the Chiefs. There
Well-
are a lot of memes going around. People are sick
Yeah,
of the Chiefs.
yeah.
Hey, look, there's not some. I don't believe in
They're
some
winners.
conspiracy because it was the same thing when Brady and the Patriots were
Yeah,
on top.
winners.
We all hated it. It always felt like Brady got all the calls. But like it or not, the Chiefs always seem to get a big call that bails them out. It just feels that way.
Okay, let's be honest. If we're going to talk football, forget the NFL for now. It cost us some money
It's
this
fixed.
weekend. Even the
It's
lock of the
fixed.
week. No, I'll never say that.
I'm just throwing
I
it out
watch
there.
every Sunday, Monday, Thursday. If they put in a Saturday game, I'm all over
watch
it.
that
I
too.
even
Did you
woke
watch
up
the
early.
one in London?
Of course.
On Saturday morning?
My football started at 8:30 Sunday morning and ended at 11:59 last night.
Yeah, if you're going to lose money gambling, you got to watch all
Yeah.
these games.
Yeah. If you're gonna spend that kind of money, you have to be invested in the time.
But
I
think
want to talk the Bombers.
We got to get on. We got to chat a little bit about the Winnipeg Blue Bombers for sure.
Yeah, 8 wins in a row. I think the biggest part of this run, though, was winning against the hottest team in football as well, in the Hamilton Tiger Cats, because now we've got the Argos. And I believe if we beat the Argos, that's first place in the West locked up.
Yeah, you got to come through Winnipeg, and the hardest place to win by a mile in the CFL is Princess Auto Stadium. You're not going to the Grey Cup unless you come win in Winnipeg.
Yeah.
And good luck with that.
So the playoff tickets are out there for season ticket holders already, but it might not just be a playoff game. It might be the final.
Well, this is
Western
exciting.
final.
It could be the Western
It
final.
could be the
yeah.
Western final.
Isn't there something interesting about the fact that there's for the first time since whatever year there's no Alberta CFL team?
Well, that's interesting to anybody from Alberta that was hoping to go to the playoffs. The rest of us, it's a
Well,
stat.
it's a
Since
stat.
1945, Curbs.
I like stats when it comes to
No,
that.
you're from Alberta.
Yeah.
I get it.
Well, no, and it's just been a long time. What was it,
Yeah.
1945? Like, that's a long time ago.
They had good teams. Calgary
Yeah.
had its reign.
Well-
Edmonton had its reign.
Yeah, well, the Elks, formerly just Edmonton, but they were on a huge run. I think they won like 5 Grey Cups in a row when I was younger, and then of course Calgary. You talk about the road. If you were in Winnipeg, the road always led through Calgary if you could get to the Grey Cup, and we rarely could against that team.
Well, they had Flutie, and then Jeff Garcia, and then Dave Dickinson.
And then Bo Levi Mitchell, who we
Yeah.
just beat up in his Hamilton jersey.
But the Bombers, man, kudos to this organization. 0-4 start, and this Mike O'Shea-led team. The character, no panic, and here we are now where they look like who's going to beat the Bombers. Really, you look BC, very good team. They got nothing. They got nothing but star quarterbacks in BC, and obviously the defending champs Montreal and Toronto this Friday. They're a good team as well.
Yeah,
So.
and the weather looks good for this Friday. I'm surprised we're not putting the sold out sign just yet on this game Friday.
I bet you it'll happen.
Thanksgiving long weekend here.
You know what the push will be? You know the clincher? The Bombers always drop off food here at 92.1 City Studios. We'll get some food the next couple of days.
That's what Phil looks forward to.
And that always pushes the fans over the top. Once
I'll
they
tell you
find
what
out.
else is happening this weekend, okay? You've got the Bombers here at home, but who's going back to Alberta to console the CFL fans of Alberta?
That's why it's such
Since
a big
1945. That's
Ah,
why
yes.
it's a story.
That's what I'm
You
going
throw
back
that-
for. Yeah.
In all your small talk all weekend, you just keep throwing that
When I
out.
fly into
Yeah.
Edmonton, I'll get off
I
the
knew
plane.
there was
Hey,
a catch.
any Elks fans? It's okay. I got you.
Forget the family, forget Thanksgiving. This is a bigger issue.
That's PJK Extra.
The Philly Joe and Kirby podcast.
Joe, you got to tell this story because it pertains to a Bluetooth gone wrong, and it's everybody's worst nightmare. And this person that this happened to, I don't know if you've identified who in the neighborhood. Tell the story because this could have gone so much worse.
So Saturday night, I happened to be out at a couple of different events, so I wasn't home most of the day. But with that wind, it was like just getting worse as the day went on. Forget the sleet and the rain, but the wind. I was out and heard from 2 different people that both lost the covers to their hot tub. One knocked out their dog, like as it flew across the yard.
Knocked it out cold?
Well, yeah, like knocked out their dog. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, dog's okay, thank God. But anyway, I get a text from my wife. She goes, listen, for some reason, the TV is running through the hot tub. And I said, what do you mean the TV's running through the hot tub? You're not watching TV. And she goes, yes, that's why I'm texting you, because I can hear there's sound coming from the hot tub. Now, anybody that has like a speaker system through their hot tub, is you go through Bluetooth, right? And you have the Wi-Fi hooked up. And I'm going, wow, that's weird. I said, did you check the TV in the sunroom? Yep, it's off. So I said, do you know what's playing? And she goes, well, it's Big Bang Theory. And I'm going, well, thank God it's Big Bang Theory. But it has to be one of the neighbors, I said. With the wind storm, something is obviously knocking out either our Wi-Fi or whatever. And this thing is loud. Like, she could not, with the app, turn down the volume. So she texted the neighbors. I said, text the neighbors. You better text all three of them, because I live on a corner of a bay.
Right.
And I said, because one of them is what we're receiving, the Big Bang Theory. And I actually said, could have been anything.
Well, yeah.
So anyway, it went on all night because we couldn't track down where it was coming.
Oh, my gosh.
And of course, the hot tub set up next to the bedroom window. So you're actually in your sleep hearing episodes of Big Bang Theory. So somebody was binging Big Bang Theory.
So, and Big Bang Theory, I mean,
I just reset the breaker at the end of it. Like, I just went outside, hit the breaker off for 5 minutes, and turned it back on, and everything was fine. But
once you start watching that show, I can see the binging. Kaylee Cuoco, excellent show from back in the day.
But it could have been something else.
But let's just focus on what it could have been. That could have been adult movies.
Yes, sure.
Easily, right? Or like anything. Like that. Or it could have been a private conversation.
That's true, too. It
And
could have been a
normally-
cordless phone or whatever that people are picking up.
Normally with Bluetooth, like, you would realize that you're not hooked into where you need it to be because it's not playing.
Yeah, so they must
That's
have
what I
fallen
didn't
asleep.
understand.
Yeah.
Maybe they fell asleep. But there's just so many ways for that to go wrong.
It was just so weird because it's technology and it's out of your hands because the app is not working anymore. So outside of unplugging it. But when you're sitting there going, where's this coming from?
That happened to me in my apartment once because, like, when you live in a communal space like that, somebody can, like, just hook into your Bluetooth speaker if they're looking to connect and they get it mistaken with theirs. Yeah. And I remember one time I had gone to bed and, like, I had forgot to turn off the Bluetooth speaker, but I turned off the TV.
Yeah.
And I was lying in bed. It was dark in my apartment. All of a sudden I heard this, like, very loud noise, and it was like, I think it was some music of some sort. And my neighbor had obviously hooked into my Bluetooth, but immediately realized
Well, I was wondering if they just kind of tapped into the Wi-Fi too, right? Because of the wind and everything else. So that might have hooked it all up.
So 3 boys in our house, and frequently, especially my oldest, because we have speakers all over the house. Frequently, I'll put one on, and it's his, as it pops on, I instantly get what he's watching in some room in the house, and 99% of the time it's something from TikTok or Reels, or because that's what kids do. They flip through. And I'm going to have to start warning those boys. Like, as you get older especially, you're up and you make sure that Bluetooth's off. I don't need to hear whatever you're watching.
And I'll tell you what, you got to give yourself a friendly reminder once in a while.
Yeah, Dad.
The Philly Joe and Kirby podcast. Completely useless question.
Useless with a capital Y.
So useless.
Brought to you by Midtown Ford.
Here goes. Dropkick Murphy's tickets on the line this morning.
If that wasn't a great band name, they would have made a great Irish tag team in professional wrestling, the Dropkick Murphys. Yeah. That would have been the way to go.
And a song you hear with hockey season, like minor hockey getting rolling here, every team has a playlist. Very few don't have that the shipping up to Boston on their playlist.
Okay. Here's your completely useless question. Women take 45% longer to do this than men. 45% longer women will take to do this than men.
That's substantial. 780 City, 780-2484. Good morning.
Parallel park.
It's not in the top 5.
I mean, reasonable guess, though. Like,
parallel parking stuff for some, yeah.
Hi, City.
order food in the restaurant?
That is number 3, my friend.
Oh, God.
We've seen that happen live and in living color right here in
Yes.
this room. And it came down to a choice of 3 salads at $5.29. But, well, Kirby doesn't eat meat, but...
We almost got her evicted from 529 over that one. Just
Like, sometimes you just need to take your time to figure out what you're craving.
Yeah.
We all picked our steaks. Half an hour later, she's mulling over the salad menu.
Yeah.
Hi, City, for Dropkick Murphy's tickets. Go ahead.
Is it getting ready to go out?
I'll give you get ready to go to work. That's number 2. So go out. Yep, sure. Number 2.
Good morning, City. Do you have a guess for us?
Shower.
Yeah.
That's
Women
the answer?
take 45% longer to shower than a guy does. Get ready for bed is on the top 5 list, and retail shop.
Okay.
Well, I was
Believe it or
going to
not.
say shower because there's just a lot more involved with like our hair.
Yeah,
And
could be.
Whoa.
shaving and the lotions and the,
Well, right, loofahs. With the exfoliators, is that what it's called?
Yeah.
I mean, that shower's busy, so those products all got to get used. You can, if you're a guy and you go in there, you can't even turn without knocking like 6 bottles of something.
It's like
onto
a game within the game. Especially when we get up in the morning, it's fun when you knock something over and it wakes up the whole house because of the nice ambiance and acoustics in the shower.
Then you pick it up in some kind of a brush. Like, what the hell is this thing?
This is the Philly Joe and Kirby podcast.
I like to keep you guys up on the fashion trends.
Yeah, you're good for the fashion
Yes.
on the show. It certainly is not going to be me. Joe, sharp dressed man, knows what's in style, so he could also. But
Yeah.
certainly some combination of you two keep me in the fashion loop.
Well, I picked up Vogue magazine recently. I think we were talking about magazines, and that was like the last one that I bought.
This is so good because now that means we're all going to save the $7.50 for the magazine because
Yeah.
Kirby lets us know.
What magazine again? Vogue?
Vogue, yeah.
Yeah.
All about fashion.
That's a thick magazine, if I
Yeah.
remember, right? Like, there's a lot of pages.
Yeah. Kirby buys it for the free perfume samples inside. You just rub them
Yeah.
up with the car. I'm
nice.
kidding, of course.
Do you like that new scent? Okay, so over the weekend I was reading though that like the latest fashion trend is bathrobes. And I know, like, okay, it's not like your typical bathrobe where it's like hanging on the back of the bathroom door and it's been,
Well, that's where ours are.
it has stains on it and and
What kind of stains are you talking
like
about?
toothpaste.
Oh, okay. Yeah, well,
Or like
How long between washes
what
are
are
we
you
going here?
accusing us of here?
well, it's just a little bit more like think bathrobe, but like a little bit nicer.
Something you could wear with guests over, or no, not even that
Like when you
stylish?
stay at a high-end hotel, they give you the nice fluffier bathrobes with the slippers. Like, is that the...
Yeah, so that's the fashion trend is you wear that over and you kind of just tie it and leave it kind of loose. But you're obviously wearing clothes underneath it. Like you're not just walking out.
So instead of a sport coat, I would wear a bathrobe.
bathrobe.
That's never happening.
You're telling me that people are wearing them out.
Yes, Angelina Jolie was spotted. Rihanna was spotted wearing them.
These are
Okay.
women.
Women, but they look like a coat.
A dress, like a
like
night...
a bathrobe.
Oh, they're
but-
looking like more like a...
But it's a dressed up version of a bathrobe. Like it's not like the type that's made of the towel material.
I think it could be mistaken for a dress. It,
Yes.
can't look like a traditional
Yes,
bathrobe.
and they would look made of satin probably or something shinier. You're not talking about a terry cloth bathrobe that he's going to walk like Tony Soprano to the edge of the driveway to grab his newspaper with his nads sticking out of the bottom. You're talking about...
No, you got to wear pants with these.
Well, this is not Hugh Hefner for crying out loud. He's not walking outside the mansion there in Canterbury Park with all the playmates.
Phil could pull it off.
I don't hang that low, okay? I'm not that old yet. But no, that's not the style. Like that.
No.
I have one of those, the Tony Soprano bathrobes. I'll wear it once in a while after a shower, but that's not the kind you're wearing out. You're talking about something else.
Well, it's a little dressier, yeah.
Yeah, just a little.
It's like more trench coat-esque than it is bathrobe.
Yeah,
in
but
my
women.
opinion. Yeah, I don't think there's any male celebrities that are
Well, it
rocking
doesn't
this
sound
so
like
far.
it by the two you mentioned.
I mean, Jeff Bridges rocked the look in the
Big
Lebowski.
Lebowski. That's the one you said you can't wear.
Philly Joe Kirby.
Philly Joe and Kirby.
Podcast.
The Philly Joe and Kirby podcast.
Kirby the tree planter. That, I'm telling you what, that social media. I have heard the Earth Network. Is there an Earth Network?
There should be.
I don't think so.
There should be.
Is picking up the videos. They want to know if there's a miniseries in the works. But you out there planting that tree on Friday. Tell us a little bit about it. We know you left early because you had to get out to the site. And
yeah, that was my first time ever at Fort White. What a beautiful area.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh my
Absolutely.
God. Seriously, I've never been there since living here and I can't believe it.
Did you find work gloves or do you got blisters from the shovel? Like is everything
no,
okay?
I had work gloves. My friend Missy supplied me with a pair of gardening gloves.
Of course she does. You know Missy Gardens. She's
Yeah, she loves her gardening.
she's a hell of a homemaker.
Yeah.
If that's the proper term. And she would have gloves. That is not surprising.
So we had the opportunity with Rogers, our company, to volunteer with Tree Canada and plant trees. And it was just a couple of hours. We planted 400 trees in 2 hours.
400
Now,
trees.
I'm going to throw this out there because I was kidding with you on your Facebook page. But you did a wonderful video, and you even showed how to plant, what was it called, a sapling?
Yeah,
A sapling?
yeah. Like there was the guy with Tree Canada was great. He gave us lots of good instructions on how to do it.
But I know you well enough to know that you are going to be out there talking to people. You're going to be doing the camera work because it was a very good video to watch. But I did jokingly say to you, we planted 400 trees, but it looked like you planted the one from the video to set the bar. And I know, listen, out of 400 trees in 2 hours, how many did you plant?
Did
Me?
you keep track?
Oh, I planted like over 10 for sure.
You
Nice.
nailed over 10 trees.
Good.
Yeah,
for you.
and there was even a guy going around who was like, I'll dig the holes. And I said, nope, I dig my own holes.
You dug 10 holes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And how far down are you digging?
Well, you're just digging enough to
Yeah.
get the
Did you not
size of the
watch
plant
The video?
in there.
Don't throw me under the bus here.
The
okay?
whole
I-
thing.
I watched it. You were great. I told you the spade went in, boom, the sapling went in, then you took
And then
that
you have to do
foot
it-
of yours and
You have to do a happy dance. That's
Yeah.
what he said.
Once
you do
you
a
do the
happy
tree.
dance around so you kind of like even out all the
I loved it.
soil around the tree.
I knew some people that were there that day, and they told me you were holding court, and I said that's my Kirby. That's why I was joking about did you really plant that many trees, or were you just going around as a boss?
Good for morale. Everybody needs that
Yes.
chatty
Yes.
person when
we
you're doing work.
worked and we talked at the same time.
Yes.
And you know what? The best part about planting trees, because
Here we go.
honestly,
Here comes a statement.
best
you,
part.
you can tell when Kirby's got a statement that is worthy of Instagram. There's a certain step in her voice when
Well-
you know something good's coming.
The immediate answer to anybody that answer that question is, well, it's good for the environment, right?
Well,
to
yeah,
have
of
the
course.
oxygen and everything. But now here's the real
Yeah,
reason
now,
it's
yeah.
good.
well, it brings me back to my childhood home in Drayton Valley, where my brother and we planted a hell of a lot of trees on that property of ours. And now when we go visit, we get to see how big they've become. And it's kind of like, it's honestly very
Yeah, that's
satisfying
cool.
because you're
Yeah,
like,
it is.
holy, I can't believe, to think we would water those trees every day, every summer. And then, so now doing these trees at Fort White, I can't wait to come back there and visit one day
And see the trees.
see those trees
Yeah.
grow.
That's great. So the ones at home, child labor, something that's a really help. Listen, I have to ask you, is there one of those trees in Drayton Valley that has a heart carved out with SK, your initials in it, that
No,
say
because
TLFE with somebody else's name?
They were sticks, twigs when I moved out.
Okay.
Yeah, they weren't big enough to carve
So if
anything.
anybody
in.
has yard work like that and they need Kirby's help, sounds like you're the person to go to.
Yeah, well,
Good with a
less
shovel.
roots are better because that was a lot of hard work getting through those roots
Okay.
The roots.
and the shoveling, but it was a good workout.
Good for you. That's
Yeah.
good.
No,
That's a good
honestly.
thing. Good
Oh,
hard
yeah.
days.
It was a good
work.
initiative by Rogers, so yeah, it was really cool.
A few people wanted your hoodie. I saw that on
yeah,
the
the city hoodie.
Looks
well,
good.
I was sweating though.
I bet that's like
I overdressed.
back-breaking labor. Like I'm telling you what right now.
10 trees out of 400 belong to this lady right
Yeah,
here. Did you leave
Fort
a mark?
White,
Like, did you
Well,
label
no,
them?
no, but I know. I know which ones I planted.
Come on,
Okay.
look who you're talking to.
I-
She knows. She knows.
I'd like to go for a
Philly
tour.
Joe.
For more Philly Joe and Kirby, log it into 92.1 City weekday mornings 6 to 10.